Hello, this is Chris McCon filling in with today's Volatility Sonar Report. VIX is down another 4% today, sits at 1744 currently, headed back towards Friday's lows. Of course, Friday, typically the VIX is a little bit weaker given the repricing of the SPX options. So we're on pace to set the lowest close since February 18th, before we had all sorts of things going on in the world. Jamie with Group 1 from the floor says there's several different trades going on in the VIX options. First big trade of the day was the July 1720 put spread. They were buying that 10,000 times for $1.40, and then selling the May 18 puts for 76 and 80 cents, 20,000 of those. So putting on a little bit of a Contango spread, essentially, taking advantage of the differences in the VIX future prices. Currently, the VIX futures, front-month VIX futures sit at 19.3. Those are down 0.3. May sits at 20.7, and June sits at 21.43. So taking advantage of some of the differences in option prices, the Contango means that the successive futures are each priced higher than the last. Also going on in the VIX options, some call buying. So the May 1925 calls, traders buying that. They were buying that 10,000 of those for $1.65. So looking for a run higher in the VIX through that May expiration. And one sale, 6,000 of the April 17 puts for 30 cents. That too is looking for not necessarily a higher VIX, but at least the VIX to stay put where it is. Selling those puts, it means that they will collect that premium, that credit, if the VIX is above 17. Now, the VIX is a cash-settled index, so if the VIX is below 17, they're not going to end up with VIX shares. Of course, there is no such thing. But they will have to make up the difference in cash because it's a European-style cash-settled index. Again, there's no shares. Despite what your broker may tell you, you're not going to end up with short or long shares of the VIX given that position. Overall volume in the VIX options is pretty light again today, about 130,000 contracts so far. Interestingly, puts outpace the calls, about 71,000 puts, 60,000 calls. Normally calls outnumber puts in the VIX on an average day about 2 to 1, so that is a little bit of an interesting discrepancy there. That's today's Volatility Sonar Report.